Okay, so some people said they wanted me to do some YouTube videos of the forge that I made and some of the blacksmithing work that I'm doing, even though I'm a complete novice, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give you a rundown on what I've done so far while some of the metal that I have is heating up, and we'll go from there. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about is the anvil that I don't have. I went and bought a cheap one and split it in half from Harbor Freight the first time I hit it. So I went and got some 1 3/4 inch hardened steel plate from a recycling center. It was like 20 bucks, thing's 75 pounds, works great. And then I welded a horn onto it. It's just a head of a hammer that I welded onto the end of it real quick. And then attached a small vise so I can hold it and twist metal and do things like that, or split metal if I want to. This is the forge that we put together. I've got some railroad spikes heating up in it. Yeah, I mean, it works great. Got a nice long hose, so the propane tank's 12 feet away. And then I'm sitting right around 20 psi. That seems to be the magic number. But as you can see, things are already starting to glow. It is yellow. So I'm going to hammer out some of this stuff. So I've pulled these probably 5 times, at least the one that's flattened out, that's directly underneath the flame, which is realistically bad because it oxidizes it a lot more than if it's in one of the other heat zones. This is one of the reasons why I think I probably need to redesign the forge, although this is working for right now. So after this, I'm going to take it out, throw it in the vise, and twist the handle. Depending on whether I think the blade's wide enough and thin enough. I'm going to check it one more time, and if it's not, I'll hammer it out. If it is, I'll throw it back in with the blade sticking out so it stays hot, pull it out, and then twist the handle the rest of the way. It's fun, easy, and makes it look kind of cool. So we'll see what happens. So the blade's thin enough. It's stretched out. The question is whether I'm going to have enough fuel to actually heat this back up to temperature. I think I'm below 5 psi in the tank, or what it's putting out at least. The tank's starting to freeze on the bottom, so it might actually still have more pressure. It might just be too cold. We'll find out. That's what happened the other day. But still nice and hot in there. I'm going to pull the other one out and try and get a little bit more length and flattening on it. Another thing on the first knife, when I twisted it, I grabbed the actual flat part of the blade where it meets what will be the hilt of the knife, and twisted from there. I got a really nice twist low down on the hilt, but it wasn't uniform across it, so this time I'm going to grab higher on it where the actual spike's still square, and see what happens if I start twisting from there. There we go, another blank. I added another little twist on the handle, and you can see how when you do the thin part, it twists tighter than the thicker part. So I did the thick part twist first, and then the thinner part near the blade. I got that pretty thin, so it should be easy to sharpen up and shape. And the handle's wide enough where your hand fits, and still gives you a decent blade. For perspective, welding glove. There you go.